Hi, it's me. I'm interrupting our regularly scheduled podcast programming for a very important reason. One of the things that I value most is my connection to you all. For many of you, we've never met. I live in your ears once a week, and you know me. You know me from my stories I tell, you know me from my interviews. I feel like you probably have a good sense of the type of person that I am. And this week, I lost my entire Instagram account. And what that means is that for the past 6 years that I started this podcast, I have been growing my account so I can connect with each and every one of you. I can't connect with you through the podcast. Even if you write me a review, I can't even respond to the review. Not to mention, I probably wouldn't even know how because of all the tech pieces. But interestingly, I was listening just last week on Sunday to Amy Porterfield's Marketing Made Easy podcast. And she was talking about the importance of an email list, that when other platforms own your connection to people and something happens, that's gone. I don't know what was happening in the universe, but you know me and my love of synchronicities, or in this case, hatred of synchronicities. Sure enough, I wake up Monday morning and go to post something, and my Instagram is gone. There is no record of me. I have spoken with Meta. I have looked constantly to see if maybe it will appear somewhere. It's gone. So what that means is that I have to rebuild. And my podcast kind of started really as only a podcast. I really, really wanted to bring this content to you. I was on my own spiritual journey, and I felt like I had something to share that would hopefully help you open up to this miraculous world that we live in, to see things from a different place, to maybe experience your grief differently and experience your life differently, see death differently and have hope differently. And so I started this podcast because I wanted more people to open up to this amazing world of consciousness, of what happens after we die, of our ability to perhaps connect with one another in other ways, through intuition, through telepathy, which is now a big thing with the telepathy tapes. And that was my intention in bringing it to you. And as a result of that, many things have transpired. I have since launched a course that is called Live Your Life Backwards. I'm about to launch something specifically for clinicians around spiritually informed therapy. Unfortunately, all of this was taken from me when it was not taken, but all of this disappeared in many ways when my social media account disappeared, because that was my way of connecting. And if you are not on my newsletter, I am begging you, please, to go to it and subscribe today. It's at dramyrobbins.com. You do get a free Discover Your Essence part of the course that I'm teaching. You get a workbook, you get a free meditation to connect with your higher self. So it isn't just subscription to my newsletter, but my way to connect with the people that are gone is gone now. And I have to start all over. So with that, I wanted to share with you all just my reflection on this, because in many ways, it's a social media account. And frankly, I'm not a lover of social media, and I don't love that this is the way that you have to run your business and you have to connect with people. I would much rather be sitting in a coffee shop or going for a walk or speaking in front of a group of people where I can connect with you face to face. But that's not the world that we live in. The world that we live in is a world sadly built on these platforms that are not owned by us individually. So I wanted to just share with you, for those of you who read my newsletter, you know this. For those of you who aren't subscribers to my newsletter, I felt like it was really important for you to hear this reflection from me as well. If you follow me on Instagram but don't get my newsletter and were looking for me and wondered where I went, or if you are someone who has reached out and DM'd me on Instagram and we had a back and forth going on, please DM me again, because I'm back. I'm now at Dr.Amy You can still type in Dr. Amy Robbins and I think I pop up. But the moral of this is, like, I've lost all connection. So if we had a conversation going, it's almost like amnesia. Like, I probably won't remember what that conversation was. But just please reach out and remind me, because I want to stay connected with you. So here is the little reflection that I wrote from my newsletter this week. I'm sorry. There is nothing more we can do. These words echoed in my mind after learning my Instagram account had completely vanished. 6 years of building my business, connections, and content gone, as if I never even existed. While Facebook's team continues to investigate, this was when I wrote this, they investigated and there's no hope. The prognosis is not promising. I spent hours navigating the labyrinth of customer service, trying people, pleading my case, but no hope. However, this reflection wasn't about what it meant for my business. These words actually transported me back to 22 years ago, almost to the day. Amy, there was nothing more they could have done. She didn't make it. I'm struck by the strange parallel of these words, both professionally and personally. On a recent podcast that I was on, that I guested on, I found myself saying, my aunt was 47 when she died, the age I am now. In 1 week from today, I will have surpassed how long she lived, and I'm struck by the gravity of that. When I was 18, 47 seemed young, but certainly not as young as it does to me now. I feel I have so much more to accomplish in life and so much more life to live. There's so much I want to see and do. And I think about how much of her life she missed. She missed her son getting married and raising two incredible boys. They are now 18 and 15. Oh, how she would have relished being their grandmother. For years, I imagined my life might end similarly. I made so much meaning of her life and how it paralleled mine. And perhaps now, as I pass her years on earth, it is time for me to start fresh. I was telling someone recently, I finally feel ready. I have the pieces in place to help change more lives and help more people transform. The very reason I first set out on this journey that began with the transformative visit from my aunt after her death. The other day when all of this happened, it felt like a test of my ability to roll with it, to ride the waves of life as they come, to really lean in to the what is there to do about it? And my first response was gratitude. Thank goodness this is something I can recover from. I have my health, my family is healthy, and my children are well, which is truly what matters most to me and what has become so crystal clear on this journey. I can rebuild what I lost, but I want you to understand a little bit about what this meant. And I talked about this earlier. It was a connection point for you to me. My connection point from me to you is in your ears. But this was a way for you to reach out to me, to say hi, to send a message, to let me know that you heard what I said, that you appreciated an episode, that something resonated with you, that you were using something in what I said and what you heard from my guest to change your life. Many of the connections I've made are with people who have become dear friends and confidants. It is also significant as I look to grow my business, as I was hoping to pitch a book to publishers. And one of the things that they want is, what is your following like? Because that suggests how many people will buy what you are selling. I found myself remarkably detached from what happened, not for a lack of emotion, but from a perspective of this is life and there are lessons here. This experience has offered me a powerful reminder of the true depth of loss that can accompany the words, there's nothing more we can do. Homes, lives, families. I can accept hearing the words in this context from a Facebook person on the other side of the world, recognizing that 22 years ago, these words held a very, very different meaning for me. I am excited about what comes next. I hope you will continue to join me on this journey. I am not one to give up, and I am not giving up now. Please follow me at Dr. Amy Robbins on Instagram. Make sure you are following me in your podcast feed. Make sure you are following me in my newsletter. I do not spam you. I do sell things occasionally, but they're very occasional and they are for your higher good and your higher learning. But I just want to take this opportunity as a reminder of to myself of how grateful I am for each and every one of you who has tuned in over the past 6 years, who has listened to not just my story, but my guest stories, my guest lives, and have hopefully used it to transform yourself. And with that, here we go on what I hope to be another incredible 6 years, 12 years, 20 years, 22 years even. Continue to join me on this exploration of life and death and what it all means.